Have you ever watched an anime and you were so into it, just watching this one episode? You loved every minute, you were so focused, and then boom, it's the ending, and you're like, what? How is that possible? It's the ending already. It ends so fast, you don't really have time to process it. In your mind, you're like, Jesus Christ, I feel like I've only watched 5 minutes of this show. But in reality, you watched 26 minutes of an episode, but it just went by like that. Welcome back to One Fair Review, everybody. I am Grant, your host today, and today I'm talking about another anime, Demon Slayer. I've talked about this anime recently, whether it be in videos, or where I talk about it briefly, or whether it be just me in the community tab, but I've been really into this show, and I've been very vocal about it. I've been telling you guys to go watch it, and I think it's time now that I should give a little bit more context and a lot more of my thoughts on Demon Slayer. Now, maybe a lot of you don't know, but I'm not really that into watching seasonal anime. And what I mean by that is pretty much watching every show every season, which I know some people might think that I do that, which I don't. I don't have time to watch 20 shows. Usually I pick 4 or 5 shows that I am interested in, and by the end, usually I only like 3 of them. But for the most part, in the time that I've been into anime, I've never really loved seasonal shows. Usually what happens is when a show is completely out, I watch the whole thing, and then that's how I end up loving it. Some of my favorite shows of all time, I never watched them as they were coming out because I don't really like that. Now, that's not to say that if you don't like that you're wrong. No, many people are not like me. Many people can watch seasonal anime and love it just fine. Personally, I've never really had that anime where I was always very much eager to watch it, waiting week by week to see what was going to happen. This year, that has changed with certain shows like The Rising of the Shield Hero and, of course, Demon Slayer. But speaking of Demon Slayer, let's start talking about that because I genuinely feel like this is becoming one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm not even joking. It is quite possible that can be the case. And allow me to explain why. Now, this show is being made by Ufotable, the studio behind it is Ufotable. Many of you might know it is the same studio that makes the Fate series, which is mostly, can be just coincidental that it ended up being one of my favorite anime to watch this season. But yeah, it was being made by Ufotable. I saw some early pictures of it, artist renditions of it that Ufotable was posting online. Not too long ago, and I really didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, okay, it's samurai. It's a samurai show. I kind of dismissed it, but when it first came out, I decided to give it a watch. The first episode pretty much introduces us to our hero of the show, Tanjiro. Tanjiro, who loves his family, is the perfect boy, perfect son. You know how it is. Now, I have to admit, the first couple of minutes of the first episode, I was kind of like, oh, this is a bit generic in terms of the plot structure. I kind of guessed what was going to happen, and I think most people who watch Demon Slayer and watch the first episode, you kind of know exactly what's going to happen. You know what they're building up to right away, and it's not surprising. So when that kind of happened, I was like, oh, okay. This is not surprising. I'm not surprised in the least, which when he finds out that, oh, my family's dead, it's like, yeah, everyone sees that coming. But it didn't really hurt the experience of the episode as it went along. After the first episode, you learn a little bit about the world that they live in. In ancient times, there are demons, man-eating demons in this world, which the setting of this is actually in the Meiji period of Japan, which I find that to be so awesome because I rarely see anime during that period. Anyways, get back to the point. When I saw the episode, the setting was interesting, and all the stuff that happened in the beginning, while it might have appeared generic to me at first, I ended up really liking it as the show went along because it had something interesting about it. It had the whole element that he was willing to protect his sister and that his sister became a demon, but at the same time she was showing emotions like a human and she was willing to protect her brother. And that is kind of why the demon slayer that they meet up with doesn't want to kill her and thinks that there's something special about her and something special about Tanjiro. Now the girl, his sister, by the name of Nezuko, is really cute and really badass in this show. I remember first seeing her just grow, like she gets super muscular. And I was like, wow, that's badass. And that was, again, another draw to the show for me. The demons in this show were really cool looking and really grotesque. None of them were, it could have been easy for them to make like the demons, like, oh, the women would be very cute, and then the men would be very, handsome or dashing, whatever. But no, they went out of their way to make all the demons very grotesque. And as the series goes along, you see how it gets progressively more grotesque and just strange. In the newest episode, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you see a demon lady that's just like, whoa, that's so cool, just how grotesque she is. And she doesn't look pretty at all. She has like huge bulging biceps. So I really love the style that the show is going for. And speaking of the style, the animation is gorgeous. I mean gorgeous. I love the animation of this show. It's some of my favorite I've seen in a long time. Of course, again, it is ufotable. So of course it's going to be great. Of course, I didn't expect it to be this good, but I did expect a certain amount of quality. But even then, my expectations just went through the roof when I started watching it, and it looked gorgeous. The animation is so beautiful to me. The line work, the colors, like just how amazing it is. And the fact that it has like this traditional style of Japanese artistry to it. It's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. Now, it's not just the animation that really drew me towards the show. What drew me towards the show was the main setup of the show, just kind of the main goal. The goal that, okay, Tanjiro lost everything, essentially, except for his sister, which even then he kind of lost her because now she's a demon. But she still has she has emotions, and she's still kind of clinging to humanity. So now his whole goal is to change her back to human. And I did like that aspect. I was like, it's pretty interesting. And in order to do that, he has to become a demon slayer. And just seeing the trial that he has to go through, becoming a demon slayer, being taught, and all this stuff, going through training, all of it was so good. And then as the show goes along, again, I don't want to spoil anything, but as the show goes along, it's just beautifully made. Of course, you probably might be spoiled with the footage I'm showing, but you don't know the context, so it doesn't matter. There are so many things that this show did right for me personally. For me, it got me with the first episode. With the first episode, it got me. It's like, okay, this is an interesting premise. This is an interesting world. Then as it went along, it started getting more and more interesting, whether it be the soundtrack or the animation was just drop dead gorgeous, the action scenes, the character moments, all of it was getting better and better. And then even, funny enough, it may not sound like much, but the fact that I found out that it was, or later on you kind of see like, oh, it is in the Meiji period of Japan. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's so cool. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And a lot of the show is cool, but at the same time, it's got a lot of good storytelling and a lot of good characterization. Even with Nezuko. Nezuko, they could have very easily just made her a cute kind of side character that, yeah, she's just cute. She's adorable, which she is. She is cute and adorable at times, but she is a huge badass that doesn't really talk. So I really like that about it. And I love the world that they built, this kind of fantasy world of Japan that they have going. And I love the colors of the demon slayers, like their flashy colors that they wear. I love the swords that they carry, the katanas. Like, everything is so perfect. It's perfectly put in place. And it's slowly making me love this show. I really love this show. I've been getting a kick out of it. I've been watching it multiple times. I've even rewatched it a few times with other people. I can't get enough of it. And the most annoying part is every time I watch it, it lasts for like a couple minutes and then it's over and I get mad because I'm like, God darn it. It's over already. And that doesn't happen to me often. It doesn't happen to me often where a show is over so soon and I want more. I want more from it. Sadly, of course, Demon Slayer is a seasonal, upcoming seasonal anime, so I'm going to have to wait for all the 27 episodes. But then again, waiting could be good. Who knows? But all I know is that I'm excited to see the conclusion of this show, and I very much am recommending everybody to watch this. I'm not giving a final verdict, of course, because the show isn't out yet. Hey, for all I know, could end terribly like Game of Thrones. But for right now, I have good faith in Ufotable that they're going to turn out a great product, and I am eagerly waiting for the rest of the season to come out, and I really cannot stress it enough that I recommend you guys to go watch this show. If what I've been telling you sounds interesting, please go check it out. It is a fascinating show. Of course, there's more to it, but I kind of didn't want to go over too much of the story or the characters in this video, mainly because I don't want to spoil it. I must say, spring 2019 has been a good time for me. A lot of great anime have come out. No shitty ones except for Ultraman. But other than that, besides Ultraman, hey guys, before I end this video, I needed to point out something. I saw it in editing, and I kind of cringed when I heard it. For those who don't know, I said Ultraman, and I was mentioning Ultraman a few times just right now. If you're wondering what I'm saying Ultraman. I'm talking about the Netflix anime. Now, the reason why I said Ultraman is because I was talking to a few friends about it not too long ago. And the thing is that since they're Japanese, they didn't understand Ultraman for some reason. So I said Ultraman. And I got kind of used to saying that. So when I was making this video, I guess I just did not realize. I had no idea what was going on in my head. But in my head, I was saying Ultraman, but it came out Ultraman. So you just want to clarify, no, I'm not that much of a fucking loser that I'm going to say Ultraman instead of Ultraman. I say Ultraman, I just got used to saying Ultraman. Anyways, continue with the video. My bad. This one is, the rest have been good, and I'm happy for that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for checking in again. Sorry for the slow wait, we are kind of busy, but I'm Grand for review. Have you guys seen Demon Slayer yet? If you have, let me know in the comments down below. Do you love it, hate it, never want to see it, don't care about it, you hate me for even mentioning it? Let me know down below. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Anyways, I was Grand for review because I have now passed on. Until next time, as always, have a nice day.